We have a very special guest in studio today. She is a rising stand-up comedian here in St. Louis, the great and powerful Bri Munnich. Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Thank you, guys. Excited to be here.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. We appreciate it.
Filled in for us. You know, flew in here like Superman to save the day.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
no one's ever said that.
Yeah.
About me. Yeah, I'm going to tell you guys about fatherhood and manhood.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the intro.
We crack jokes about it.
Yeah, we crack jokes about it. But yeah, I mean, it's clearly, we don't.
Everyone has a dad. I produce a podcast called City Dads.
Really?
Okay.
So, yeah, and they're like, we like that you have no experience with soccer or being a dad. Like, it's perfect. You're an outside perspective.
Yeah.
So, I kind of work with this stuff, I guess. Yeah.
Well, you do so much. You have so many different things that you do. We're kind of talking about this before the show. You edit podcasts. You manage social media accounts. You also are a wedding and special occasion baker. Like, where do you find the time to do all this?
Right.
People ask, and I'm like, yeah, because I'm just bad at saying no. I think that's most of it, if I'm being really honest. But I've always cooked, and then people were like, I'll pay you to do that. And I was like, really? Okay, I'll start doing that. And then comedians, a lot of them will come to me if they have a birthday or a wedding. I've started doing wedding cakes 2 years ago. It's just fun. I also, part of my personal content creation is food videos. So I'm famous for a food video online.
So tell us about that. Cake. How did that?
So it was a stupid thing so my mom, we grew up, I have 5 siblings. We didn't have a lot of money. My mom would always make a lot of weird, thrown together stuff. And one of those things with this split pea soup she would make. Have you guys had split pea soup?
Mm-hmm.
You know how thickens in the fridge?
Mm-hmm.
She would just pull it out and then add more stuff. And it just kept going forever. So we called it the never ending soup. And then as an adult, I was just I think it'd be fun to redo that and just see how long I could last. And I don't know. I'm an adult now. I don't have money. Maybe this is a good idea. And then I put it on the internet. It got 14 million views.
Holy shit.
And then I was like, oh, fuck, I have to eat this soup. It was so bad. I ate it for 2 weeks. I was cooking it into other stuff. At one point, I made it into a pesto that then went into a bread. It got really deep. It was this isn't even soup anymore. I'm lying. But I can't stand to eat the soup. One of the videos, I think, is me just sadly eating the soup in a conference room. It's just bad. But I was and I had a video of me freaking out over, I have to actually do this now as people are interested in this. And that video went viral because people thought that was funny. And all my friends were laughing at me. And they're like, yeah, eat the soup, you idiot. And it just got a lot of traction. And then I started doing other food videos. Anytime, for a while, it would just be anytime I cooked something, I would just videotape it.
Yeah.
People liked it. So I just kept doing it. And then that's kind of how I got into comedy.
I was going to say, did you use that as a way to talking to the camera and practicing some stand-up?
Yeah, I would tell some stories and stuff sometimes. So I don't really teach you the recipe.
Yeah.
It's mostly me screwing around.
Yeah.
It's not, I don't really care about people knowing how to cook it. I'm just I'm having fun.
Yeah.
Also, I don't really know how to cook it. I'm just doing it. So I'm that's a lot of work. I'm just going to goof around. And then there were certain bits that people would really like. And then those were some of my first bits when I started stand-up, where I was oh, that video got 1 million views. People like this story. I'll try it.
Yeah, on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you refine it over time, and I'm sure, it just takes a long time to develop these bits, from my understanding.
Yeah, it takes a while. I'm still really new in comedy, too.
Yeah, how long have you been doing it?
A year.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm very fresh.
Oh, I love it.
That's awesome.
Great.
But
you're immersing yourself in it, which is awesome.
Oh, yeah. I work over at the Funny Bone, so I'm the scariest door guy at the Westport Funny Bone. You guys have seen some of the stand-up comedians.
Sure.
I mean, I'm the scariest one. I had a guy call me Hitler one time when I had to throw him out, too.
What?
Crazy. And he was a blind guy.
He was blind and called you. Yeah?
He was blind. Well, he whipped around and said it to me, and I was like, "Are you actually blind?" But now he was just really upset. He kept talking to me in the show, and then he was like, "Because I'm blind, I have to talk." I'm that's not how that works.
Yeah.
What do you mean? And he's like, no, because I'm blind, I'm allowed to talk during the show. And I'm like, no, you can't. I'm gonna have to ask you to leave. And then we eventually had to get 2 guys to drag him out. And then as he was getting dragged by me, he called me Hitler.
Mm,
And the headliner was right there. And he just turns to me and goes, did that guy call you Hitler? And then a few minutes later, the same headliner comes back over to me and he's like, by the way, I didn't ask what your real name is. I just heard him call you Hitler. And I'm like, oh, my name's Bri, but my friends call me Hitler. Super funny guy.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, no, so.
Well, if
you
you
just
only
gotta-
doing it a year, you've opened for some, pretty big name comics.
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. I've gotten a lot of opportunity. I really don't know how, but
Well, you're funny.
Yeah,
I think
you are.
I just work. I think a lot of it too is like showing up. People like the person who shows up. The other thing is that I always bring desserts to the comedy club.
That's gotta help. That's gotta help.
Not saying it doesn't help. It definitely helps.
Yeah.
But like 1 weekend, like I'll find out what the person I want to like talk to likes, and then that's the week I get to talk to that guy. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, that guy likes garlic bread. I'm making garlic bread.
Ah.
But no, you immerse yourself in it, and then people, a lot of it is being likable, even if you're not the funniest, because you're like, we want to give this guy a shot. Like they'll learn. They're gonna screw up. You have to. As a comedian, you're gonna screw up a million times. You're gonna bomb. It's gonna
Part
suck.
of it, right?
And you're going to think it doesn't suck when it really still sucks. That's how it works. It's like,
what do you mean?
it's like looking at a photo of yourself in high school. You're like, I was an idiot.
Yeah.
That's what looking at your stand-up is like. Even a year in, I look at this stuff when I started, I'm like, oh, this is terrible.
Yeah.
Why did I think this was funny? Why did I do that? Like, why did I even say that? It was terrible.
Well,
Well, on the
same, same for us. I mean,
Yeah.
like you go back and listen to our earlier episodes. I'm like, God, I said and like
Yeah.
every other word, and I
Yeah.
still say a lot.
Yeah.
Like
On stage a lot. It's
like,
terrible.
I'm like, God, I hear it, and I'm like, oh God, shut up. Just
One
close your mouth when you're done talking.
Yeah.
Like
It's hard. That's where the editing does help, because you're watching yourself constantly, and that's kind of why I do it as a comedian.
Makes
Is I
sense.
do so much editing because it makes you really reflect on yourself.
Well, but it's
It's
also cool to like see the transformation from the start to where you are now.
Yeah,
Just the growth and everything that takes place with it. So
yeah. It's great to see how like the fast food is affecting me. Now. But no, I do agree, because a lot of times you don't get that type of feedback from people, because the people who are closest to you don't notice your changes on a day-to-day basis.
right.
And then anybody else is going to be hypercritical because they don't know you well enough. So if it's you looking at yourself every day, it really does impact, because as a comedian, you have to, like, we listen back to our sets every night, and like you have to constantly, and if you won't do it, you're going to suck, because you have to, I feel like comedy, the real secret is just ego death. You have to kill all your ego and just accept it. Be like, this is what it is. People hate me.
Right.
How do I fix that?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I mean, I never thought about it like that, but I mean, yeah, the ego death. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't have any sort of ego when you go up there, I would imagine.
If you do, I mean, people
Well,
do it, but
That's the thing. I think self-deprecating stuff too on stage is probably pretty funny for most people.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
it
I
gets
feel
the
like, I feel like
gets the
that's
out,
most
yeah.
of people's acts. I mean, a
Yeah.
lot of times I would imagine is a
Yeah.
lot of self-deprecating, like talking about why they think this way, or what, why they do this way specifically, or whatever it is.
that's most of my act. Most of my act is making fun of myself. Because, like, I mean, you guys have talked to me for how long, but like, if I went on stage and I just was like telling people all of these opinions I have and acting like I know all this stuff, I'm a 20-year-old. I don't know anything.
Yeah. You got a lot of life left.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know anything. People don't care what I have to say. Let me just talk to them about how I feel insecure about my body and that people think I'm a butch lady. Like, that's what I can talk about, because I know what that feels like.
Well, and I'm sure, and,
Yeah.
and on every level, somebody can relate to that,
Yeah.
because everybody's got body dysmorphia, like
Yeah.
in some form of
For
where
sure.
they're not happy with something, and they can relate to it. That's what makes it funny.
Yeah, like we were, there was a show last week we were supposed to do. Unfortunately, got canceled. Well, I was kind of happy, but they're a nudist colony, and they were gonna be naked during the show. The comedians didn't have to be naked.
Okay.
But my friend was like, "Please don't make me do this by myself," and he was like, "Please host the show." And I was like, "Are they gonna like what I do?" And he was like, yeah, all of your act is about being uncomfortable in your own skin. That's how they feel every day. Because they're like,
having to put on clothes.
Yeah, that's how they feel having to put on clothes, you know? He's like, they're going to love it. And I was just like, oh. But it's like stuff like that you wouldn't think, but everybody's going to relate to feeling, uncomfortable or misunderstood or, yeah.
Everybody's felt insecure or like not confident at some point in their lives. There's no way that you haven't.
And if you haven't, you're lying.
Yeah. If you haven't, 100% you're lying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So why'd the show get canceled?
The guy who was running it could not show up, and they were like, we don't want this random lady in our house.
Oh, was at a house?
Yeah, it was at someone's house.
When you say nudist colony, I think like, oh, it's like a compound. It's like a camping thing.
Yeah.
See, that's what I said too. Yeah, and then they were all like, no, you idiot. It's at a guy's house in his basement. And I'm like,
that's even weirder.
That's weirder.
So much worse.
Like,
right?
like all these naked people in this like basement. It just seems so creepy, you know? Like,
yeah, I was like, well, I had a bunch of ideas for it too.
I was going to say, like, I'm just thinking right off the top of my head is the old school. Here for the gangbang.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I do that every time I do a show at the Funny Bone, and it's like 10 people or less. I'm like, all right, guys, you're here for the orgy.
Yeah,
it's gonna be great. Who wants to be in the front? Who wants to be in the back? It's just, but yeah, with that kind of show, I was just like, oh, it's gonna be so weird. But as a comedian, you also kind of just have to take every opportunity you get.
Yeah,
that's what it seems like when you're first starting. I mean, it's all about reps. I would imagine there's as many times you can get up on stage as possible, right?
And speaking of, how often are you getting on stage a week?
I'm probably getting at least 10 sets a week.
Oh wow,
wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. And then I get hosting work at the club, so I get longer sets there and stuff. So it adds up, and I run a few rooms, which is a benefit. Then I can go up and nobody can tell me when to get off stage.
That's awesome.
So I just do what
really
I want.
Just go up there and play around and try new stuff out. And now, how often are you writing new material? Is it like
I write
often?
Yeah, and I write new material every day. It kind of depends. But I try to do like a new, almost completely new set every Monday of a new 5 minutes worth of jokes.
5 minutes every week.
All of it usually sucks.
Sure, but if you get like if you get like one good nugget out of it, I feel like that you could turn that into a good bit, right?
Yeah, a lot of my longest jokes were one line at the start that worked. And then now it's a minute and a half, 2 minutes, 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just like to do that because the comedians kind of have an unspoken rule about like Mondays are the day we all bomb. So we're just like, everybody try new
shit on Mondays.
Yeah, and we all kind of listen to each other too because we know it's Monday. Like, oh, okay. We won't ignore everybody because he's doing the same dick joke as we hear every night.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, oh, maybe he has a new idea for something. But I don't know. I've also like recently started doing roast battle, and that is a lot of writing.
Oh, I bet.
You have to write like 100
do you have
jokes.
your guy or your opponent or whatever you'd call it, like you know it in advance?
Yes.
Okay, so that helps.
Yeah. So I had to roast. Last time I roasted the funniest guy in St. Louis. He just won, and he requested me, and I was like,
that's got to be an honor, though.
Yeah.
Well, we're friends, and I'm so easy to make fun of. And I was like, he called me the Fupa Cabra. I even told my mom, and she's like, now that guy's funny.
Thanks, Mom.
It's your damn split pea soup, Mom.
It's so funny.
Oh, he crushed me. I couldn't come back from that. You can't come back from the Fupa Cabra. He also called me the final boss in Catfishing Men. It was so good. But yeah, we had like 3 weeks, and me and him, we work the door at Funny Bone every weekend. Okay. So we hang out constantly. He's just like the most saltine of person you've ever met. He's the whitest, most boring boy. Mm-hmm. And I was like, what do I do?
Yeah. Oh, it's got to be hard.
But this next roast, I'm actually roasting the host of the City Dads podcast, Ryan Ballard.
Oh, so I bet you got a lot of dirt on him because he's been editing his podcast. So
well, that and he's just a mess of a person. But he's an absolute mess. Some of the stuff he sent me, I'm like, why did you tell me this? Yeah. You should not have said this. Like he has a brother that's also named Ryan.
They're both
What?
named
They
Ryan.
both named Ryan.
It's like George Foreman naming all of his kids George.
Yeah. And I was like, what did your parents make you? And they were like, we couldn't possibly do worse. Let's just go with Ryan again. Like, oh man. He's a fun guy though. It'll be fun. I like roast battle. It's intense though. You have to take a lot of criticism, and the judges roast you on top of the other comic.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know if you guys have been. They do them
I
at the
haven't.
Funny Bones.
When?
I'd love to go. Yeah.
The next one is on 9/11.
Oh.
Okay.
And
I'm gonna be out of
they're
town.
talking about having this guy Spencer dress up as Osama bin Laden,
Oh gosh.
and having this guy Aaron Porter dress up as Bush to be on the judging panel.
Oh god, that's hilarious.
But like,
kind of like a Kill Tony.
Like Kill Tony with the
Yeah.
Trump and Biden, you know. Like
we've recently kind of, I think we're like a bonus city in the National Roast League right now. So
Oh,
we're
really?
like trying to produce better roast battles to get our people into their shows.
Yeah.
yeah.
But we do them like every 2 weeks.
Okay.
Oh wow, I didn't
That's
realize it
cool.
was that frequent.
Yeah,
That's
it's at Platypus in the Grove, or it's at the Funny Bone.
Okay.
Okay.
So they rotate them. So it's kind of like the Platypus battle is a little smaller. So it's for people who are like trying to learn how to roast. People who don't have as much experience will do Platypus, and then the better roasters will do the club
Okay.
because they're more experienced.
Gotcha.
Nice.
So yeah, it's like a little more high quality of a show.
So I've never heard of Platypuses. Now is that a comedy club or is that a bar that they?
It's like
just
a
kinda-
bar that they have like a side room they do music in. So it's
Okay.
like a concert room.
Really?
It's right next to Urban Chestnut.
Oh,
But they're
okay.
super pro comedy. They have like 7 comedy shows they run out of there.
Oh wow.
cool.
We have
That's
an
cool.
open mic we run out of there. Wildcard Comedy's out of there. Another cool show we do in town, my buddy JC runs it. It's a comedy drinking game where you pull cards and it dictates what jokes you do.
Oh.
So you pull a card and each card is like King's Cup and each one stands for a different thing. And you
Oh.
don't really know what they mean until you're up there.
Okay.
So it's bad sometimes, but
Yeah.
like it puts you on the spot. It teaches you to be flexible in your act.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and you
Um,
probably come up with new stuff too. I would imagine. Right?
Oh yeah, you have to. Or like they'll make you impersonate another comedian and you just have to go for it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Bad.
if you look stupid, yeah.
If you look stupid, you just look stupid. It happens.
Part of being a comedian, I guess. right?
Yeah. Yeah, you just lean into it. People are also this is something I've learned, like, you know, I haven't even been doing comedy that long, but people want to root for you. I feel like people always don't think that way going into comedy. They're like, oh, I have to try so hard, and like people are gonna be so critical and this and that. People want to see you succeed on stage. They want to laugh. They're there to
not,
laugh.
and they're not experts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's uncomfortable to watch someone bomb.
Oh, it's the worst.
It's like I know it's uncomfortable for me as a audience member, but it's way worse for them.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
like I've talked about it on here before, but I've tried to do stand up once. I went to an open
Yeah.
mic once. Didn't go so well. Didn't really plan it out. I just thought I'd tell a funny story, and I didn't really like. You know, I just told this funny story of what something that happened to me in college, and it didn't. And I'm like, okay, this is the part where most people laugh when I tell them this story, and
Yeah.
crickets in here. Like, oh, this is uncomfortable. And
Mhm.
yeah, so that was my one and only experience with stand up. And but that also showed me like, man, it is such a long road to
Yeah.
like get good at that. You know, like, and I was like, man, if this is something that I really want to pursue, it's going to take a lot of time and
Oh, yeah.
effort and heartbreak or, you know, being uncomfortable. And,
Yeah.
you know, it's like it's a long road, and it's not an easy like career to choose to like make money.
No.
You know, like,
No.
you know, if you're trying to, you know, build this crazy career where you're, you know, not having to worry about your bills and stuff, like
Yeah.
comedy's a tough road for that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Crazy enough with like I kind of count some of the side work I do as comedy because it's like I'm helping other comedians or editing for them or like working at the club, like on staff. But I make more money than I did as a scientist.
Right?
Just nuts.
That's awesome.
And that just tells you
Yeah.
the direction this country's going a little bit. Is that scientists are paid worse than comedians that are running side hustles in their house.
Jeez.
But, yeah.
So you were a scientist.
Uh-huh.
Let's talk about that a little bit. What did you do? What?
I was a cancer pathologist for pediatric cancer.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And before that I worked for an ingredient company too, like making supplements.
Oh.
Yeah, this is the funniest part about the whole science thing is that most people's parents are like stoked if you become a doctor or a lawyer or whatever. My parents don't believe in science, so me becoming a scientist was the most rebellious thing I could ever do. That's why I did it.
They don't believe in. What do you mean they don't believe in science?
My mom is like kind of a crazy lady, and she just doesn't really. She doesn't trust doctors. She doesn't like. She has a lot of very controversial beliefs. Like,
So gravity's not a real thing to her, huh?
oh, it's a real thing if you look at her. Sorry, Mom. That was terrible.
So is the Earth flat or round in your opinion?
I think she thinks it's round.
Okay.
I've never asked directly though, as I'm a little scared.
Yeah. I don't want to know what you think.
But like, yeah, just like, especially like, yeah, with healthcare and stuff, she's very like, I can fix it myself. Like I
Some
can
crystals or something.
Yeah, some crystals. She's like, oh, I can see the bone. It'll be fine.
It's
type
still
of
there.
lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's just very like old school in that way, and she believes like praying to the saints instead of going to hospitals or like
Just rub
trusting
some dirt
someone.
on it, you know?
Yeah, that kind of a thing. So, yeah, like the amount of times she's almost died because she won't go to the hospital until she's dying,
Oh, wow.
kind of thing. Both my mom and my dad are like that. So it's like, yeah, as a kid, I was like, oh, that's the one thing that would annoy them the most is if I went and like,
Scientist.
You became a scientist.
I became a scientist. So, yeah, I studied biochemistry in college, and then I thought I like wanted to go into like medicine and like be a pathologist because I was like, I like hospitals and like the idea of healthcare, but I don't want to talk to people really. I was like, I'm fine with like just sitting in a lab and
And
like
now you're a
reading
comedian
results.
talking to people.
Yeah, now I'm a comedian. I think it's just like people complaining about their,
Yeah.
their
You
pain.
talk to them, they don't talk back.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, listen to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, don't tell me about the boils on your ass. Like, I don't care about that. I don't want to hear about the rash you have. I just don't. But like pathology is more like reading tests and results, and like I used to train AI to read tests
Oh wow.
and stuff, which it sounds
How do you do that?
complicated. It's mainly just telling the computer, hey, that dot, that's cancer. That's really it. It's I'm sure it's not really more complicated than that. But like we worked with something called liquid biopsy. And so essentially we were collecting just like 1 or 2 cells from a patient's blood that were cancerous cells that were migrating to metastasize. So I guess the whole theory of our lab is that cancer, like you want to study the tumor itself, right? Obviously they do that for every person. They'll go do a tumor biopsy. But our idea is if you capture the cancer cells in your blood, those are the most aggressive cells in the entire cancer because they're trying to spread, right? So our whole like philosophy is you study those cells, you figure out how to beat the cancer, which makes a lot of sense.
Sure. Well, you
Because
stop it
it's
from
what's
spreading.
trying,
And,
stop it from spreading. And so like I developed a test to capture the first Hodgkin's lymphoma cells in the blood of like pediatric cancer patients. And then when I did that, I was kind of like, this isn't fun anymore.
Where do I go
I
from
kind of
here?
figured it out.
Yeah.
So I left.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
check that one off the list. I guess we figured that one out. I'm gonna go.
on to comedy.
I'm gonna switch my.
I'm gonna make videos about soup and do comedy.
Get up and tell dick jokes.
I do. I do. We all do.
I mean, dicks are funny.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah.
But no, I originally I didn't really think about going into comedy directly. I was just like, oh, I'll focus on the videos because the soup thing happened like 4 years ago.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, I'll just focus on side stuff, and the work-life balance in science was insane. Honestly, I feel like I have more balance as a comedian, which is kind of nuts.
Really?
Even
With
though
some
I'm going out
weird,
every
crazy
night.
hours.
Maybe it's because it doesn't feel like work because you're just hanging
Yeah.
out with your friends.
Mm.
You know, we're all just hanging out at the club, shooting the shit and talking. And,
But
you
that
know,
can
goofing
get
around.
tiring at some time. At some point.
Oh yeah, they're all 20-year-old boys.
Oh,
of
gosh.
course it gets tiring. It's like, oh, who'd you fuck this week? All right, who do we have to avoid? It does get frustrating, but
As a scientist, you should go get tested.
I did that this week, literally. And then the guy was like, well, it came back negative. Like, should I tell them? I'm like, yes, you still have to tell them. Like, that's things can lay dormant and stuff. And he's like, I hate that you actually are like a good source about this too. So I have to listen. But he was clean. Yeah. And he also couldn't read the test results by himself. He's like, I'm too stupid to read these. Can you tell me what they mean? Am I dirty or not?
Am I dirty?
And I'm like, yeah, I can read the test results for you.
Send them over.
Send them over. Send them back to the office. Yeah, I just got like I do shots in the green room or something.
So when you when was the time that you like officially like, hung up the lab coat and picked up the microphone? Like, was there like a transition period where you were like working on the videos and the comedy and all that, like while you were still doing science, or was it doing science?
Doing science.
Doing science and shit.
I was doing science.
Yeah. Doing drugs over here.
No, but like, was there like a transition period, or did you just like quit science cold turkey and started doing the videos and comedy and stuff?
So I was doing the videos in between for sure. The videos were kind of and honestly, I got some pushback in the lab about the videos.
Really?
And that was part of, they wouldn't promote me because they didn't like that I had a funny, and I talk about some edgy stuff.
Sure.
I never talk about like where I worked or anything, and like I had a fake name and everything. But I started to get recognized by some of the college students at WashU. And then they were like, yeah, and I worked for the chair of pathology. And I was like, I don't want you to be my manager of my laboratory because it doesn't look the most professional.
Sure.
I do goofy stuff online.
It's like, fuck, have a sense of humor.
Yeah, right? He didn't at all. He was like,
he's a scientist.
Oh, terrible. Yeah.
It's like two contradicting worlds. You go from being...
Yeah, I was going to definitely two different ends of the spectrum.
I think that's part of why it didn't work for me too well, because I just like... I can take things seriously. Like, my brain works like that. I'm very good. Like, I have a degree in math and science. I was really good at what I did. And, like, I published research. But I like to goof around with my coworkers still. I still have a very goofy, like, also, we're talking about cancer. It's like, you want to have fun.
Yeah, you got to lighten it up a little bit.
Yeah, it's like, if we're just talking about all these people whose blood we have, all day. It's like, it gets sad. I don't want to talk about that all day. Yeah. It's like, I'm going to tell you these dumb stories about my family and, like, things we did to each other and, like, mess with you guys. And, like, I don't know.
Or you're administering this test that you created to somebody and you're like, this might kill you, but,
Yeah,
just, like, goof around with it and, like, tell jokes, but...
Yeah, well, and like in my job before that, it was serious still, but it was a little looser. And then I never wanted to do cancer research, but I got recruited to move to St. Louis to do it.
Oh, so you're not from here?
No.
Where are you from?
I'm from Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've lived kind of a little bit of everywhere, but I was going to college like up near Chicago and moved here. Because the guy is like a really prestigious pathologist.
At WashU?
Yeah, and I was like, I can get into the program I want to.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I hate this so much. I'm just doing this to make my parents angry. Funny, my parents are so happy that I'm a comedian now.
Really? That was
so
gonna be
happy.
My next question. I was like, do they like what you do now?
They love it. Yeah,
That's
my mom loves it. She's like, you seem so much happier. She loves the dick jokes I tell. I tell them all to her.
That's hilarious.
Well, you leave a structured career and you bet on yourself. What's something that surprised you about who you've become in the process?
I think I definitely the biggest thing for me with doing it, and I think I've really come to realize this like probably the last 6 months, but my biggest fear with working for myself and like going out and doing like this creative endeavor was being like my parents. Because they actually are like that. They do all their own side work and businesses. And I realized it's like, it feels familiar to me, but it doesn't make me like them. And I think that it was important to I think as a stubborn younger kid, I was like, no, I have to be structured and do what everybody else does. And it's like, no, even though my family is messed up, like, it's still good to work with what you know. right? And to work from a place of passion in the things you like and enjoy. And like, yeah, my family, not very structured people. Not many people have like careers or degrees or anything, but we know how to make people laugh. We know how to mess around.
Yeah.
I mean, that's our thing, and like the cooking, my parents owned a restaurant. Like that's familiar to me. And adding all these things up, like it seems like a lot of stuff, and it is, but I feel like I work way less, even though I do like 7 jobs now when I had 1 job. And that's the trick to it. It's just reframing the idea of like, it's not bad to be, go to what's familiar if it's going to help you. Move forward. I think. Yeah. I don't know. That I always feared being like my parents. I feel like everybody does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
ultimately, you do end up being like your parents a little bit.
A little bit.
Everybody does.
There's some pieces.
Try and pull the good parts out.
Yeah.
Add to it.
And I'm sure, as parents, that can be scary. Trying to not
Oh yeah.
indoctrinate your kids.
Right. Well, you gotta you gotta find that happy medium. You want them to be their own people. You know? It's like you don't want to like for example, like I grew up. The only sport I was ever any good at was wrestling. And then over the last few years, I've gotten into jiu-jitsu. It's like, yes, I would love my kids to do that too because that's what I love. But like, I'm not gonna force them to do it. Like if they can't, if they don't love it, then do whatever you want to do. Like I just want you guys to do what you like to do. Like whether it's if it's art, if it's golf, if it's baseball, whatever you guys want to play, like or do. Like I want to fully support it, but I'm not gonna make you do what I like. But I'm gonna introduce you to it, and if you like it, great. If you don't,
that's the thing.
Cool.
Is like baseball. I didn't even introduce Connor to baseball. He found it on YouTube, and fell in love. Yeah, I fell in love with it.
Yeah, Pat played pro baseball.
Yeah,
so
I
don't if you
know.
that.
And
Yeah.
so-
Oh yeah, he out of.
I know you didn't play pro baseball.
Not me.
But yeah, I mean, he got into it and he loves it, so I'm gonna let him do it. But I'm not gonna coach him. Let somebody else handle that. But then my youngest one is, he's more artsy. Hell, we're taking a trip to Florida so he can go spend a weekend building Legos.
Sick.
Like this Lego, they got a Lego convention down in Pensacola, which is nice because it's 30 minutes from my parents' house. So we get to see Grandma and Pop, but then he gets to go and just build stuff with Legos. He's incredible with Legos.
Yeah.
And so I'm all right. I'm gonna go fork over some money so he can build shit with Legos.
Yeah.
Okay?
Cool.
So that's what he wants to do.
So, growing up, you're one of 5. You said. So, what was that like? And you think that's kind of like led you to this path of being a comedian?
Yeah, I have 2 older brothers,
Yeah.
Okay.
and
So you're
they
middle.
tortured me.
Yeah.
No, I'm the youngest.
The youngest.
Okay.
Okay.
I have 2 older sisters and 2 older brothers.
Oh.
Okay.
But my brothers were probably the biggest influence because
Wild.
they're wild.
Yeah.
And I hung with them more because I never felt, I don't know, like super girly. We had a weird dynamic in our family is they're so much older than me. So like I probably learned a lot of stuff way too early. But my oldest brother's like 17 years older than me.
Oh wow.
So I have 2 sets of Irish twin siblings. So they're born within the same year. So it's an 18-year-old older than me sister, 17-year older brother.
Oh,
And I have a 10-year older brother and a 9-year older sister.
Oh.
So and they always were kind of pairs together where like and I didn't have a pair.
Yeah.
So just like me trying to find my way. And usually it's being the butt of the joke is what got me in. Taking the brunt of it so that I could be involved.
So you're included.
There's your parents not believing in science again and just,
Yeah. Right?
9 years after the fact, 17, 18 years after the fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's Bri.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. My mom, this is the craziest thing she thinks about me. But she always says, she's like, I don't remember liking your father when you were born. So she thinks I'm immaculate, which is insane. And that's why my initials are BVM for Blessed Virgin Mary. It's absolutely crazy.
No way.
Yeah,
Your middle name is BVM.
No, my
initials.
middle
Her
initial, my
initials.
initials are.
Got it. Okay. No, I get it
Yeah.
now.
So
Sorry.
she was, it was Bri Munnich. Yeah, she was like, a bird landed on my windowsill around the time you would have been conceived. And that,
Stork
I think,
brought
was
you.
probably what happened. I'm like, that's crazy. That's
What?
insane. Yeah. Nuts.
Insert dick joke here.
Right? Yeah. Oh, man. But she's Yeah, she's a nice lady. She makes a mean soup.
Yeah.
But she's wild.
Makes a mean
She's
soup.
also a ghost hunter. I didn't even talk about it.
Does she give you a lot of material to talk about on stage?
Oh, for sure.
There's so many jokes about this lady. Yeah, she's
Ghost hunter.
my mom's a ghost hunter. My dad's a con man.
Okay.
Yeah. So they were a very
You're a
interesting
comedian.
duo.
Shocker.
Yeah, that's what everybody says
Yeah.
when they find that out. They're like, "Oh, this is starting to make sense." They're like, "I thought you were just a gay lady who made cakes." Now, okay. But it's so funny. Yeah, she's a ghost hunter, and she like took me on ghost hunts when I was a kid. Yeah, because my
Did you find
parents split
ghosts?
up. No, not in my. I just was terrified of everything, so I kind of just blocked it all out.
Mm.
If I'm being honest, but it's like, yeah, I don't. I like to remove myself from that world. I think people like to believe in it, and like that's fine if they want to and enjoy it. But for me, it's just like my life's hard enough. I don't need to deal with ghosts.
Yeah.
Why can't I just avoid it? Like, I just have never understood
Yeah.
that. Like, I don't get why people like horror movies and stuff that much either, because I'm like, my life's scary enough. I don't need that.
Yeah.
I don't want it. Leave it away. Give it away. It's got a good story, maybe.
Yeah.
But like most of the time.
I'm
It's
usually
like-
not watching something just to get scared.
Speaking,
Like, it's gotta have a good story.
speaking of comedy and horror, did you see Matt Rife just bought the original Annabelle doll? He is now
Yes.
the
Oh, that's disgusting.
he's the
Yeah, the
he's
owner of that.
the
Yeah, I
owner
saw
or the supervisor of the Annabelle doll.
Is that what they modeled his Botox after?
Probably.
Sorry.
Oh
Yeah.
shit.
Being that handsome is not natural.
Yeah.
He's got like that handsome Squidward face, you
Mm.
know?
Yeah, it kinda does.
It's a little weird.
Yeah, it does. It's like very chiseled and like
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
strong jawline.
Yeah. Someone drew that face on
Yeah,
a
'cause
computer
there was-
first. It's,
Jawline in the dictionary is Matt Rife's face.
yeah.
Oh man. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, he got big off of like crowd work and stuff like that. Is that
Yeah.
something that you've dabbled in or that you enjoy doing if you have?
So I do it a little.
Yeah.
St. Louis is generally an anti-crowd work city.
Really?
really.
Why is that?
It's just like the culture of the clubs here, especially when you're a newer comic. They're like, you're not ready. You don't know what you're doing. Don't do it.
Gotcha.
Because people can offend people.
Yeah.
Like we've had comedians we've had to ban at mics because of crowd work they've done to people. And
So
it's
is it
like,
just saying that St. Louis is too sensitive for crowd work?
I don't think that's the case. I think for us it's more so like when you see it online, you're seeing like cities
Big
that are
city.
bigger
Yeah.
and have more of a comedy infrastructure. People understand what a comedy show is like. We have a lot of people in St. Louis constantly when they come out to my shows. They're like, I've never been to a comedy show.
Mm.
I've never been to a comedy. I've just seen it
Yeah.
online. And they don't know how to act. And it's different at a show that's not at the club. It's like you don't have bouncers.
Yeah.
You don't have people to police it. You don't have people to like set the tone, really.
Right.
So I think that's part of it. The other thing is like, at least for me as a newer comedian, like our job is to sell drinks and to keep the customers happy. And we go at the beginning of the show. So if you do crowd work and offend somebody and they walk out, you're losing the club money.
Mm.
And that never gets you booked again.
Right.
So it's like you can do crowd like sometimes like I don't even really consider it crowd work, but I'll just like point people out in the audience. Like if I'm doing a joke and maybe it didn't get as strong of a laugh as I wanted or something like that, or one person really loved it, I'll point that person out. And I'll make them feel goofy about it or something. Like if I tell a dick joke sometimes, I'll point out a guy that really liked it. And that makes everybody else laugh because he'll get all red. They're like, this guy loved it. Stuff like that. But
Yeah.
it's not even like,
But you're not like roasting somebody.
yeah, I'm not, I don't like roasting people like in the audience in that way. Is they're there to support you.
Right.
Right.
It's one thing if they ask for it.
Sure.
If they ask for it, that happens. Because I did have a lady on Sunday we did a show and she yelled out the punchline of my joke after I already did that punchline. And I was like, I just said that. I was like, what are you on a 30-second delay? What the fuck? Are you buffering, lady? And like, because she kept doing it to everybody. And that was almost more like, I don't want to be mean, but she's done it to every comic. So
Yeah.
this is serving everybody else on the rest of the show. Me talking to her now, because then she'll stop. Sometimes you have to put your
Right.
foot down on someone and be like, okay, No,
That's enough.
we're done.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's also barking at comedians.
What?
Actually barking?
Like-
Yeah.
Like-
Yeah. Well, there is a guy in town who does like a whole dog bark thing.
Okay.
But it was like a dog benefit show they do at the Funny Bone because they do like they have a dog charity they work with. And it was like their charity show. So the people were like super amped on dogs.
Mm.
So they just started barking at people's jokes at one point. A little bit. Yeah, it got a little weird.
Yeah.
But it's for the dogs.
Yeah,
Right.
for the dogs.
Yeah, so we have a club dog.
Oh yeah.
Do you?
He hides in the ticket office.
Cool.
Yeah, they like got him from the shelter, and then we give out charity passes for the like that support the shelter after the shows.
Cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Well, when you're doing these shows and you see somebody just absolutely crush it, what's like the first thing or you're noticing about it or like you're learning from them and their performance?
I feel like when I see, especially one of my friends,
Mhm.
almost 100% of the time, the thing I notice is how comfortable they felt. Because that's usually the key to making all your jokes work. Is like, you can get all your jokes to work separately, but that magical set is when you just feel it and you're just comfortable. And it's like, I'll hear them and I'll be like, that's how they talk to me.
Okay.
You know, and
Yeah.
it's like, that's how they, like, that's their actual cadence. Like,
Mhm.
that's their actual persona. They're not putting on a face as much as they normally do.
Mhm.
That's usually when I'm like, okay, they cracked it. Because ultimately, we're all just trying to find our voice.
Mhm.
That's the whole game of it. And, like, you don't find it for a long time.
Mhm.
I have gone through a ton of iterations even in just 1 year.
Was Eric saying it takes like 10,000 hours or
Or
something?
10 years.
10
They say
years.
like
Yeah,
10.
10
They say
years.
10 years to be a real comedian or whatever
Yeah.
they say
Yeah.
or something. You know.
Yeah, that's what
Obviously,
a lot
there's
of
guys
people-
that well, and you say Matt Rife because he just came up. He's just become kind of big over the last few years. But if I'm not mistaken, I think he's been doing comedy since he was like 16 or something.
Oh, yeah.
like he's been doing it a long time. He
Well,
just
shit, I just
recently-
realized he was on that lip syncing, or was it like a rap battle
like a
show?
rap battle show, yeah, with someone. I saw that clip recently.
a long time
He was
ago.
like,
He was like a regular on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
yeah, I mean, someone like him, you think, it just takes a long time to kind of get to that like nationwide fame.
Yeah.
It takes a long time.
Everything it's one drop in the bucket until it tips over. Is kind of how it feels. It's like nobody can see how full the bucket is, except for you.
Yeah.
And then eventually it will spill over. That's how I kind of think of
Yeah,
it.
just
I feel
putting a
that way
drop
about
in every night.
content. Like
Yeah.
when I post content and stuff, it's like not that you're just putting in things mindlessly, but it's like that soup video. It's like, why did people like that?
Yeah.
Why? Why is that the thing? Out of all the things I've done, like
soup.
But it's just like at some point, Pete, it will tip over, and like that was really the thing that got me interested in even trying comedy. Was just the idea of, okay, like I've done all these little side things with doing videos and like all these things I did when I was in like my early 20s. And I was like, maybe people do want to hear what I have to say. And that was the tip for me to be like, oh, maybe I should try comedy. And then I'm sure really the realization of my voice in comedy will probably be like, people care about my actual opinions and I don't just have to do nonsense anymore. Because I do a lot of like, I'm a very nonsensical comedian. I don't like to talk about things that really divide people. I like to just have fun. I'm more observational and goofy and and I also think that teaches you how to write a good joke. Because people want to hear the opinions of like someone like Bill Burr because they know Bill Burr.
Mhm.
They know how he's going to react. That's the whole key of a set is teaching people who you are as quick as possible so that when you tell a joke later in the set, they know how you'll react to that because of your character.
Well, was Bill Burr always like that, or I think that it wasn't until later in his life that he started becoming more.
Yeah, more ranty.
Yeah.
And more,
Like, he does that solo podcast by himself, which
Yeah.
is crazy to me.
Yeah,
Just sits
that
there
would
and
be so weird.
rants for an hour. Like, dude, there's no way I could do that.
He probably just needs to get it out. His
Right.
wife is probably it's mandated.
Yeah.
She's like, go talk in a room by
yeah,
yourself
go
for an
talk to that
hour,
lens, please.
or I will kill you.
Put a picture of a therapist, put Robin Williams' face from Good Will Hunting on the
Yeah.
wall, and just talk to it.
He just gets grounded. It's like, go do a podcast.
Go to your room.
Yeah, go out in the garage.
Yeah.
Oh, you were mentioning writing. What is your process when it comes to writing?
I used to write every bit out word by word, and then I would cut all of the unnecessary words. But I've gotten to a place now where I don't even write my bits out anymore. I
Oh,
just
really?
have like names of jokes, which kind of funny. I had a comedian who works at the Funny Bone come up to me the other day, and he saw my joke list, and he was like, I couldn't tell if this is your jokes or a grocery list. I was like, oh. But
This is all split pea soup.
yes. Yeah, it's like, oh
Cake.
no. I do have a cake joke right now. I have a batteries joke, an ice cream joke.
Batteries, ice cream, cake.
Batteries, ice cream, cake. Socks.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, it really varies for me. I think I do better now that I'm not as structured. When I first started, I felt like I had to be so structured because I wanted to figure out why the things I said were funny to people. So I was a lot more like crazy about it. When I first started, I actually had a spreadsheet with all my jokes in it, which
Really?
was nuts.
Scientist in you. Yeah.
I had an Excel spreadsheet with all of my jokes. It had how long the jokes were. It had how many laughs per minute. It had, it was insane. It was an insane practice. It had every like tag I'd ever tried on the joke, like everything. And then I was like, this is insane people stuff. I was like, I can't do this. So I started, I think it also helped once I got a little more comfortable on stage. I was like, I can just go up there and I know my stuff and I can mess around.
So do you just like speak into record yourself when you're saying it? Or,
Yeah.
So you remember it
I
instead
do
of writing it?
record, and I don't like always riff stuff directly on stage. I'll be like, oh, I've been thinking about this, and then I'll like say it to a friend out of pocket. I'll just come up to them and be like, hey, and I don't even say it's a joke. I just go tell them this thing. And then if they laugh at it initially, I'm like, I'll go try that right now at the mic. And then that's kind of how I figure out, like, I'll kind of beta test it on people, like surprise style, I guess. I'm just like,
it's crazy because that's the only way that you can test things. Like comedy's like it's the only art form out there that have to test in front of a live audience. Like you don't know if it's going to work until you get up there and say it in front of people.
I think that's why I love it. Because I think the part of science that I hated is that it takes so long to really see any result.
Yeah, it's immediate feedback.
It's immediate feedback. And I was just like, well, because as a scientist, part of why I got out too was that you're kind of stuck like for a few years once you start a project. Because it's going to take a while. And I came to an end of a project and I was like, okay, so it's either get out now or another 3 years, probably. And so I was like, I'm going to dip now because it's easier to not have to hand something off to someone halfway through. It's easier to just let them take over something new and make it their own, run it the way they want to. Because I've been handed stuff half baked before and it's terrible.
That sounds awful.
Yeah.
Just trying to pick up what they're already
Pick up
started.
the pieces.
Yeah, everybody's brain works differently
Yeah.
in their process. And, as much as people would think science is regimented, it is really flexible. It is kind of based on the person running it. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to get out when I can. And yes, comedy's so much better because, it's immediate feedback. It's great for insecure people. Even though that sounds like it makes no sense because you're like, oh, if you're insecure, you don't want to like go in front of people. But it's great because it's like you get little bits of validation every night of your life. Like, I guess it sounds a little sad now that I'm saying it out loud. It's like, what do you do every night? I just go get validation from strangers so that I don't feel sad all day. That's my hobby.
Yeah,
What's
that's what
yours?
I do for fun. Yeah.
I make jam.
Yeah.
I could do that, I guess.
Well, speaking of what's more stressful, making a wedding cake or being on stage?
Make a wedding cake.
Yeah.
Because they only get one wedding cake. I can go cut my hair and get bangs. People will never know I was that lady on stage. She said crazy stuff, You screw up someone's wedding cake, you ruin their day.
Yeah.
The big day.
How many weddings are you typically doing?
I probably do like one a month or two. It kind of depends on the size of the cake or the wedding.
Yeah.
Because if it's like a more intimate thing, I can do a few a month, and it's just kind of more like a birthday cake size. But like I did like a 500-person wedding.
Oh, shit.
It's like I'm not taking more than one of those a month.
Yeah.
Because it takes days of you bake the cake layers and you freeze them all, and then you make all of the frostings and then you assemble it all, and then you have to transport it.
Which I feel like it's got to be the most stressful part.
I had to drive a cake 2 hours once.
Oh.
It's terrible. By myself.
You have one asshole slam on the brakes in front of you or something.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You're like, oh.
Yeah.
There goes 5 days.
You
worth of
just
work.
drive like this the whole time.
Holding it. Yeah.
Yeah. They have like cages for cakes with like I don't have enough money or like a business to do that. But like they have like legitimate cages for cakes that you can put them in for transporting them.
Makes
and stuff.
sense.
And like
Yeah.
lock it in like a whole thing.
Oh,
And
wow.
I guess they have like padlocks for them because people will try to steal wedding cakes.
Ooh.
I don't know. Yeah, doesn't it seem like a crazy thing to just steal?
Yeah.
I'm just,
Just
gonna
sit
steal
outside
this
of-
whole wedding
yeah,
cake.
just gonna
I mean, yeah,
sit
I want
outside
this
a
whole
baker.
thing. You know, it's like not like something you can like steal and sell.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you're stealing it to eat it. Like, and then you're gonna sit there and eat an entire cake by yourself. Like,
Maybe they
What's wrong
make
with you?
OnlyFans content, and they need the wedding
fucking
cake.
stealing Steve Aoki. Like, what the fuck? Like,
Or they're running their own business, selling other people's wedding cakes. Like, oh, I got a wedding coming up. Just
Oh.
gonna steal this one and
yeah.
get it off to this other wedding.
But it's like that's also like a thing that you can't. There's an expiration date. Like,
Oh, yeah, you gotta
like,
use
it.
gotta
You
gotta
use it,
be-
like-
Yeah.
You know, maybe there's a black market for
Right.
wedding cakes that we don't even know
there
about.
probably is.
They're turning them over like crazy in back alleys.
Yeah.
It's,
This is how laundering drugs, just hollow out the middle, shove the drugs in
There's,
there.
yeah, there's an idea.
right? Cocaine-filled wedding cake?
Yeah. It's a
Sounds
hell of
like
a party.
You're right. This was nuts. I went to a wedding the other day, and this photographer came up to me and my friends, and she was like, "Hey," so like, you know how at the beginning of the like ceremony they told everybody to look at the bride's shoes because they were like special or something from her grandma, and we're like, "Yeah," and then she was like, "So I thought it'd be cute to take photos of all the wedding guests' feet," and we're like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm just taking pictures of everyone's feet. So if you can put your feet over here."
Really?
And it was she was just a foot photographer for the entire night. She just took pictures of everybody's feet. And I was like, this is insane.
That's weird.
This is crazy.
So weird.
Yeah, I was like, are you using Foot Finder to pay for the wedding or something?
Yeah.
And then I told the groom about it too because I was hanging out with him later that night. I was like, you do know you had a photographer that was only taking pictures of people's feet. And he was like, was it the old white lady? I was like, that concerns me that you said
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. So you
But
know you know
yes.
this. Yes, it was her.
Yes, it was.
So you're
her.
aware of this situation, right?
And then he
You
was
paid
like,
for this.
Yeah.
he's like, yeah, we paid for the foot lady. She said, no, but it was insane.
That's really weird.
And then I was like, it'd be so funny if a year from now they like play a game where they guess the guest by their feet.
Now, like, is this like the guys, like even guys that had like closed-toed shoes on? Is it?
There was a few people that took full shoe off.
shoe off. Okay.
Shoe off. They were really in the spirit of the foot photography.
photographer. They were
But
in
it
the
was nuts.
spirit.
And it was
Oh, man.
Tennessee. It was hot.
Oh,
so I guess
God.
they were like, yeah, I'll let the dogs out for a minute. You know?
Let the boys breathe.
Let the boys
One
breathe.
stinky wedding.
It wasn't not stinky. Yeah, it was so weird. I've never had somebody ask to photograph my feet.
Yeah.
At a wedding. And they were like, I wonder if this lady just like does this scam around Chattanooga. Like she just goes to weddings dressed up like a photographer
Yeah, it could be.
and
like
just
a
takes photos
foot
of people's
fetish
feet
person.
in
Oh,
dress
this-
shoes.
Probably have those advertisements on Feet Finder and her name's like right there.
Yeah.
It's like preferred vendor of Feet Finder.
So the feet finder, that's a real thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People just take pictures of their feet and post them. People pay
Yeah.
money.
It's crazy.
It's like the OnlyFans of feet.
yeah.
So I'm not
Only feet.
Only.
Only feet. All right. I'm
Only
not.
feet.
I'm not in the foot fetish game, so I'm uneducated.
Yeah.
So
Why do you think like people will post pictures on Instagram and blur their feet out?
I've seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had that at our podcast where I tied all their shoelaces together as they wanted to stop putting their feet on top of me. And then they got mad and took their shoes off. And I'm like, I'm going to have to blur everybody's feet now. Stop it. And they were like, then to get back at me, they kept putting their feet in the frame.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's a great way to, drive some views to the podcast.
Oh,
Get all those-
definitely,
Get all
yeah.
those people that are get the foot fetish.
Get,
Yeah.
the feet
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
That's the
Hey.
key demographic.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
really
yeah.
killing it in the
They
foot
got-
game.
they-
Foot game.
Yeah. I mean, like, you got to think they got to probably have a pretty unique sense of humor to be into feet, you know?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
I wonder where that stems from, like
Oh.
the foot fetish thing.
Ah,
I don't know. I just don't get it. Not my.
Yeah.
Not my
I think
thing.
maybe one time they stubbed their toe and they felt something.
like
That we didn't
Like a
feel.
little mini orgasm or something.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I don't
Like
know.
that chick in the gym.
Yeah, yesterday.
Yeah.
We had this
Fuck.
yeah, this girl over here working out yesterday. She's doing the BioFit machine, those big machines. She's oh fuck. Like, we're like, oh, me and Pat are looking at each other like,
Wait, what kind of what's
It's
the
like
exercise?
this- it's
it
like-
wasn't
I
the
think-
crotch
no,
thing, right?
I
Oh,
think
thank
I
God.
think she was doing like an arm work, like
Yeah.
like she was curling. And
Yeah.
so like the resistance is pulling down, so she's having to like pull up, but just hold it there, and she's like, "Oh fuck!"
That's nuts.
Yeah, it was a lot. We were like, oh wow.
If you
Me
see
and-
this, we're sorry. We're
Yeah,
making
sorry,
fun.
making fun of you, lady. But yeah, me and
Job.
Pat are in there lifting, and we just look over each other and just start giggling.
This is an entertaining workout.
Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah, that's
For
part
sure.
of why you go to the gym to work out is watching people.
The people watching.
Yeah.
Well,
I
that's,
think Zach was in the middle of a squat too, and I'm like,
Yeah.
maybe that's what got it.
yeah. That's it. Watching my sweaty ass
Yeah.
squat down. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
She saw the strength in them legs.
Yeah.
I will say I used to competitively weightlift.
yeah?
Never.
Really?
Yeah.
Powerlifting?
Yeah. In high
Nice.
school, we had. I got caught by the gym teacher because I was actually betting money with other kids. I was like,
But
this-
who could bench more?
we had like one of those older leg presses where you could stack the plates
Okay.
on vertically, and I was like, you could just have people stand on the platform. And so I was betting people how many cheerleaders I could leg press and stuff.
Oh.
And I was making a ton of money. And then the gym teacher came in and he's like, you can't fucking do this.
Says who?
And then he was like, but do you want to be like on the weightlifting team? And I was like, I didn't know we had that. He's like, we do now. But he was just my individual coach. So I just would like go out and do like competitions and stuff.
Sick. Awesome.
But yeah, I lost time for it in college, but yeah, it was fun. Never heard anybody do that.
No, that's hilarious. I want to see how many cheerleaders I can leg press.
Yeah, I
That's
just was
hilarious.
like, oh, that's fun. And I this is one of the main bits that went viral on TikTok that like was I think I did the first set I ever did in comedy
Really?
was the idea of like poor kids are really strong because we have to lift all our stuff all the time so we get evicted. And I was like, if poor kids were Transformers, they'd be U-Haul trucks. And that was like my first ever bit.
That was your first open mic? You came out with that
Yeah, I did
one?
that.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I
like,
don't even
yeah.
do it anymore. It was one of the first things I did, and it was fun. But yeah, it was like the first thing there. I was like, oh, there's something to that, and that feels more written. It's not just like a story about me.
Yeah.
And that's how I kind of was like, oh, okay, I'll try it. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, tell us about that first open mic. Like, where'd you do it? Like, what? And then you kind of, I guess you had that kind of pre-written, and you were like, all right, I'm gonna fire this.
I
one
wrote my entire set that day that I did.
Okay.
I wrote 5 minutes worth of material. I sat down, did it, went to the show. And I didn't use some of it was stuff I'd like come up with TikTok and then just like expanded on it and stuff. But I had done some stuff with friends like back in college where like, oh, it's an open mic or whatever. And there's no one in the bar, it's just your buddies. And we just go up there and shoot the shit. But I don't really count that. 'Cause I wasn't like, I'm gonna be a comedian. I'm trying to do jokes. I'm just trying to make my friends laugh. That doesn't count to me. But I did about a year ago at Platypus. I went up and I did 5 minutes worth of jokes. Maybe 20% of it worked.
Yeah.
But I got invited to do a show the next day. Funny enough, I didn't know I was on the show. I just thought they were being nice and asking me to come to the show. So I showed up and I showed my ID at the door and they're like, oh, you don't have to pay. You're on the show. And I was like, what? And they were like, yeah, someone dropped off. They put you on because they knew you were coming here. And I was like, I did my first set yesterday. And they wanted me to do 10 minutes. I did 5 minutes the day before. And
What'd
so
you
I was
do?
like, I went in the bathroom and I listened to the recording on my phone and panicked. And then I just added some stuff I had thought about.
Oh, wow.
How'd that one go?
Not good. Really bad. Really bad. But it was the first time I made money doing comedy. I got
It
paid.
was your second time on the
Yeah,
on the
second
open mic.
time.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, second time, like, yeah, actually trying. It's like I did like improv with my friends and stuff, and like used to goof around doing that stuff. And I did like skits with the videos, which it's not stand up, but it works a similar muscle, I
Mhm.
guess, of like just trying to be goofy for goofy's sake, I guess.
Yeah.
Is kind of. But yeah, and then I just was like, I like this. And the people were surprisingly nice. Comedians are like the nicest. it's weird because you would think they're
Maybe
not.
they're
Well,
shitting on
you
each
hear
other,
well, you hear about all those older comedians. Like if you heard, who was talking? Was it Joe Rogan on some of his earlier podcasts talking about how some of those older vets were just mean
Yeah.
back in the day? It just doesn't seem like that's the case anymore.
Yeah, well, he talks about like how podcast culture's like really kind of changed it because back when now it's like more of a thing to be a like traveling stand-up comedian. Like
Mhm.
you can make way more money like that than you can like because back in the 90s and stuff, people were just trying to get on a sitcom. They wanted to be Seinfeld. They wanted to be Roseanne. They wanted to like have their own show and like it was kind of that feast or famine mentality. So like everybody like this competition. Everybody was trying to get those handful of spots for the sitcoms. But now it's like with how podcasts have like everybody. I mean, that's like when I think podcasts personally, I think like all the ones that I think of have a stand-up comedian as
Yeah.
the host, or it's their show. That's like all the ones that I listen to for the most part. I mean, there's a handful outside of that, but most of them are stand-up comedians, and I mean, they all have each other on their shows. They kind of bring each other up. It's kind of like a very collaborative thing, and and Rogan always talks about how it's you can't do comedy in a vacuum. Like you're never going to find the best comic in the world that just doesn't hang out with other comics, and he only does sets by himself, and and just
Yeah.
everybody, it's like a collaborative thing. Like you do it together.
Yeah, there's less degrees of separation between comedians these days than there used to be. It's definitely a lot more intertwined. And if you look at any of the New York guys that are really big right now, well, and there's LA guys and stuff like
Sure.
all
Now
different.
Austin too.
Yeah, in Austin. But it's like if you watch, they kind of all go up in groups of like 3. Like it's a group of 3 guys who are all friends and working together.
Yeah.
They'll all rise together. And
Like
that's kind
Legion
of
Skanks and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah.
So
Like,
we're like, why would we try to fight each other? Just help each other. That's why me and my buddies started a podcast, because it's nonsense. But we use it to get better at riffing bits and learning how to be conversational and learning how to punch each other up and not step on each other. And learning how to it's really just our writing session, but we record it online.
yeah, that's cool.
That's really
That's
all
cool.
it is. And
I saw some
there's,
clips. That's you and is it Alex? I've seen him. I've seen
Alex.
his. I mean, I don't know him, but I've seen his stand up before. I think I've
Yeah.
seen him up twice. I'm
Yeah.
buddies with Chris Oliver. Know him.
Oh yeah, I'm really close with
Yeah,
Chris.
Chris.
Yeah.
Me and Chris went to high school together, and I've gone to a handful of his shows and stuff. And Alex has performed on it. He's
yeah.
hilarious.
Alex is great.
He's great. Yeah.
Yeah, Alex is great. My favorite butch lesbian. And then Sam, our other buddy, he's the 3rd guy. But yeah, it's just us. Like we used to do that anyway. And we talked about, we started doing all these 3-way phone calls all the time. And we're just like, what if we just recorded this? Because it'd
probably
be
pretty funny.
easier. Yeah, I was like, also, I wish you didn't do this in the middle of the workday. It'd be nicer if you scheduled this, because they'll just call me out of nowhere. And it's like, I don't have time for a 3-way phone call right now to talk about jokes.
Yeah.
I need to do my job.
I'm in the middle of editing this video.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. And they work jobs where they can, like, they have a little more freedom to that. And I'm like, I need my ears for my job, unfortunately. So I'm like, I have to. But no, the other guy, Sam, we get a lot of good stories out of him as he evicts people out of their houses.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he's doing his crazy stuff every day.
Um,
He used to clean up crime scenes and hoarder houses before that.
Oh man.
So yeah, he's
seen
got
some shit.
Yeah, and then Alex is a machinist.
Really?
Even though, yeah, doesn't he seem like an idiot?
Yeah.
But
He's like an idiot, yeah.
no, he seems pretty smart. It's right, I can say that word.
Yeah.
But no, it's like we just riff and hang out. We had this guy, I don't know if you've ever seen Spencer Techmeyer before.
I don't think so.
He goes up at
Maybe.
the club and he is absolutely insane.
Really?
But we had him on our show last week. It's so funny. He just did this bit. He kept going to the bathroom and he would put more and more of my lip gloss on his face. Because it's out of my house. And then it was just like, at one point, it was just globs on his mouth. He's something. He's a character. So funny.
Well, speaking of Chris, we've had him on a couple times. The last time he was on, he was telling us about some weird or awkward, or strange requests that he's like places that he's performed. One being a dog park.
Dog park.
Oh yeah, he was in a
Yeah.
dunk. He was in a dunk tank.
tank or a-
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. He's on Dog
Is
Tank.
there been anything like that for you, or has it all just been like? Do you have a strange place that you've had to perform other than the one that got canceled?
Nudist
The
Colony.
nudist colony.
I headlined a grocery store. It was one of my first headlining gigs ever.
How did that work?
It's like a high-end fancy grocery store, like kind of like one step above Whole Foods probably.
Okay.
And they did have like a cafe area, but like you could also just see people shopping. Like, while you're- and then I showed up there and there was kids and they did not tell me I had to be clean until like 20 minutes before. And I was like, all right, I guess we're doing puns. We're doing puns about cake. And I had to do 25 minutes, which is longer
That's
than
a
what I
long
normally
time.
do.
Oh, yeah.
It was fun. I ran with it. I did some of my jokes that are more like, I would call them like SpongeBob level. It's like the kids could still laugh at it, but the parents will get the innuendo kind of a thing. I do a lot of that. I am pretty clean. I have some darker jokes that are like intense topics where it's like, in front of kids, I probably don't want to do that. But the mom with the kids kept like explaining the innuendos to her kids like, in the middle of my jokes. I was like, can we just like not? I'm doing this for a reason to get away from this. And she was right in the front too. So I just watched her explain like every dick joke I did in a roundabout way to her two sons who were like 12 and 13.
So we're going to have the birds and the bees talk right
this
here.
lady is teaching you everything you need to know.
If you know how to listen.
She's teaching you, and you know what? My grocery list set was perfect.
Yeah. Perfect setting. Callback. I like it.
Yeah. That's
I know some
callback.
terms.
Comedy audiences love those. But that's probably the worst one I've done. I don't know. I can't. That's for sure. I've done like a show at somebody's house before, and that's a little weird. Like
right?
a house party type of vibe.
House parties are weird. I've heard, like
restaurants
or like business. I've heard, people
Business
having to
meetings.
like get up in the middle of a dinner and just start telling jokes.
Oh,
like,
Eric's mic.
Yeah, Eric told me. I think
Eric's
was one that
mic in
tells-
the burger shop was terrible.
Really?
Well, because you stood in the kitchen on a little bread box.
He didn't tell us that.
He didn't tell you that?
No.
Sorry. It's canceled now, but you used to have to go into the kitchen and they're cooking behind you. So like they'll drop fries in between your punchline and like ruin the whole thing. And it's so hot because they're cooking back there. And it's so greasy that it's just like a hazard. Like you have to hold hands with the host as you get on and off stage.
Really?
Because we had people who, especially drunk comedians, who would just like sit on the counter because they couldn't like get to the grease island. It's like a little island. You have
Grease island.
Yeah, you have to get to the little. And it's like sometimes at first it was on wheels. I was like, Eric, these wheels are insane.
Yeah,
You can't
already
take.
slippery back
I was
here.
like, we can't have this on wheels. This is crazy. And we would just stand in the and it was like a shotgun. Like basically the whole room was like a U-shaped bar that was facing the opposite direction of us.
Oh, boy.
So they're all this way, we're this way.
Oh.
And we're standing under the menu in the kitchen. Yeah. That's probably the worst mic.
Yeah.
For sure. Oh, I've done I did a comedy show at a burlesque show.
Huh.
So I've actually done 2 of those now. I had to do 2 separate sets. So I had to go up because, like, I don't know if you guys have
I've
not
never
been to
been.
burlesque. Okay.
You know.
I'm a
Just a
frequent
wild
flyer.
guess.
It's a wild guess.
Frequent
Just a
flyer to
wild
burlesque
guess.
I don't even know what burlesque. I mean, I think I do. What is
It's
it?
like lingerie.
Like lingerie, right?
Like drag.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Drag,
Yeah, like
okay.
RuPaul drag
Got it,
race.
Okay.
So like they'll dress up in like all the makeup and the everything.
Do you do
and-
like I've got 2 gay neighbors and they always talk about the drag brunch that's downtown. Is that what it was?
It's not
No.
that one. Worse.
East side
worse.
East side burlesque.
I did one burlesque show where it was like the girls were on the ground. And I'm like, I don't think you should be on there. I don't think that's ever been cleaned. I was like, man, they got something. They got to get tested after being on those floors. But it was weird. Yeah, you have to do 2 separate sets in the show, which is not normal
In the same show?
in the same show. So you go up and it's like basically all the performers get 2 rounds. So they each do like 10 minutes and then they cycle back through. And so all the girls will go change, or guys. You never know what's under there. But they'll go and change and they do a whole nother routine. And then I was the comic on the show, so they're like, yeah, you're going to do that too. And I was like, okay.
You
Which
gotta like split your show in half.
I have to split your act in half and make sure none of your jokes like
Repeat,
overlap or
yeah.
repeat, and you
Yeah.
have to be strong
right
enough
order.
for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Because normally you want to do your closer on every set. That works. So I
Yeah,
was
so
like,
you
I
gotta
have
have
to
2
figure out.
closers. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I thought it'd be funny. I just put on like a different color of the same shirt for the second set. I just brought 2 of the same one, and I'm like, you guys like this blue shirt now? But I was like, this is the best I can do. I'm not. But I got tipped like the drag queens do. Like, it was
Really?
crazy. I
Really?
made a ton of money. Yeah,
Huh.
it was
That's
insane. I'll do it again. It
Yeah.
was terrible kind of as a comedian, but I made money. That's what it's about. They liked it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was very weird. The other show I didn't have to do 2 sets, but the girls were much more naked in that show, which made it much harder to get men's attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, sorry, you just saw that. Now listen to my jokes about cookies.
Yeah.
Sorry. Well, one of the drag queens, they had like a QR code for their Venmo on the pasties they were
Really?
wearing. And I was like, I can't compete with that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like, I can't. What am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
The
Like,
QR
so
code
it's-
pasties.
So it's happening like
Yeah.
the show is going on while you're standing like telling jokes. I feel like that's such a
No,
horrible...
it's separate. They stop and then I go up.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Which I guess is better.
Yeah, it's
And-
better, but it kills the momentum for sure.
For sure.
Could you
Um,
imagine these burlesque dancers trying to dance on a pole to comedy?
Yeah, no.
Well,
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, terrible. That would be
Yeah.
so gross. That would be disgusting.
Oh yeah, slide up and down that grease pole.
Yeah, it's just
like a
comedians
play-by-play.
commentating
Yeah.
burlesque
Yeah.
show.
Now that would be
Like,
That would be
entertaining.
pretty
they're just
funny.
sitting at a table to the side. And it's like Sports Center. That's how I picture it.
Yeah. Yeah.
In my mind palace. That's what I picture.
Yeah, they're on the side like commentating it. Yeah, that could be funny, I think. If like
Yeah.
as long as the the participants in the show can't hear them and are not getting offended. But I bet
Yeah.
that could be pretty funny.
I was
It's a show
saying
idea.
We should do like a Monday Night Football mic like that, where it's before Monday Night Football and people go out to the bars and
Mhm.
do like a roast mic where you have a panel like Sports Center
That'd
and
be
it's
fun.
nude material, and we roast and we do notes,
That'd be
kind of
fun.
like Kill Tony style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That'd be fun.
That would
Or
be
like
fun.
do like a like the bottom of the barrel show. I've always heard that that's like a
Yeah.
cool idea too, where they they have the audience members, everybody writes like a topic down and it all goes
Uh-huh.
into the barrel, and then the comedian has to go up and grab a random piece of paper out of the barrel, and that's what they have to like riff on or whatever, which I
Yeah.
feel like that's got to be a a bit factory, and
Oh,
you can probably
yeah.
come up
We
with a
do
bunch
that
of
at
good bits.
Helium.
Oh, you do?
I run a show that we're actually just starting up called Premium Blend. That's kind of like that. It's like based on like the old Comedy Central Premium Blend, but it's 4 comedians and they all will go up and do separate sets, and they go up together and riff together with topics from the audience.
That's cool.
And yeah,
What do you
I think
What do you
that's fun.
think needs to be done for the the comedy scene here in St. Louis to make it like bigger on the map, like the comedy map?
I hate to say this, but I feel like it's a lot of the local comedians more active about producing content.
Yeah.
I think that's really what is that's what brings
how you get the
people.
word
So
out
I mean, do you
now.
think that's what's
In the
helped
comedy.
you springboard
Yeah.
yours so fast?
I've gotten work where like I shouldn't be featuring. So like usually at my you'll host for 4 years, 3-4 years at least,
Mhm.
if not more. And that's like a 10-minute set max. I'm already featuring, which is 20-minute sets. And I've headlined, which is more than that. Which I shouldn't be doing, but you don't say no. You just do it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing, kind of mentality
Just
with
figure it out as you
comedy.
go.
Yeah, you take the opportunities and you roll with it, and
It's
do
only
your
gonna
best.
make you better.
Right.
Yeah.
And I got work with I got feature work at City Winery, and the headliner told me the reason she picked me was because I put clips out. And she's like, "You look like you're actively doing comedy compared to this list of all these people I got." And she's like, "I don't care that you have way less experience. You look like you're trying harder than everybody else."
Well, I mean, yeah. Look
Makes
at
sense.
what
Yeah.
TikTok's done for a lot of people. I mean, we've been joking about him and talking about him, but I mean, fuck, Matt Rife took off because of
Yeah.
the shit that he posts on social media.
Well, and it's not even just stand-up clips. Like that's why me and
Right.
my friends have the
Mhm.
podcast. It's
Right.
like stuff like that.
Right.
People see that and they're like, "Oh, I want to see those people goof off in
Right.
person."
Yeah.
Like I want to see their dynamic at their show. I'll go because we
Yeah.
promote our live show that we do on Fridays every week on our podcast. And it's like, oh, hopefully people are like, "Oh, that would be so fun to
You
watch
go
them
see
in person."
them in person.
Yeah.
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 For sure.
I need to
the
start
whole
going to
idea.
more comedy shows,
I love
especially
them.
like the
It's like my
nights that I don't have my kids.
My favorite thing to
Yeah.
go see live. Like over the last few years, like me and my wife, that's what we do. Or me and my wife go together a lot, and then me and my brother and my dad, it's kind of become a thing too. But like, yeah, if there's a comedian coming into town that we want to go see, and then I've gone to a handful of local like a couple local over the last or comedy shows, I should say, over the last year, really ever since
Yeah.
like I kind of reconnected with Chris and met Eric and met who else have we had on Enzo,
Yeah.
Yeah.
a few other people. I'm like, oh, I didn't know like that the scene was really here. Like I didn't really know anything.
I wish
about
they
the
would
scene,
do more of that here.
What do you mean?
Got the stage.
Yeah, I mean, we did it one. They did it one time.
Really?
The stage out there, Eric, Corey. He was.
Oh, it was here?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
here.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah,
yeah,
it
they
was a
should
fun-
do
it was a
there's
more.
that stage
fundraiser.
out there, and they brought in a bunch of chairs and basically like
Yeah.
made a circle around the stage. And yeah, man, there was probably I don't know how many people here. It was probably somewhere between like
Probably
close
about
to 100. Probably
Yeah.
close to
Wow.
100 people. Like it was
It
fun.
was a good time.
Yeah, it was. I'd love that for them to do that again.
Oh,
Should-
let's go talk to
Yeah,
Emily about that.
Yeah, we can talk to her
Yeah.
about that if you guys
I
want
mean,
to set something
the
up.
market for comedy in St. Louis is there.
Oh yeah, I mean,
really
love it.
is.
It's become such a popular thing, over the last 5-10 years. I mean, I think due to podcasts.
And we have 3 clubs, which is a lot more.
Yeah, you got the
in
Funny
those
Bone,
cities.
Helium, and then
We have 2 Funny Bones.
we got 2. Okay.
Where's the one in Westport?
St.
Where's the other one?
Charles.
St. Charles.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And
never
it's
been to that
crazy.
one.
They're 15 minutes apart, completely separate markets.
Really?
We can sell both of them out on the same night.
Really?
Yeah, because people won't cross the river.
No, that's true.
It's serious. Like, they really won't.
Well, that's,
So-
I'm in that perfect spot right here at 141 in Big Bend. I can just shoot up 141 and stay on
Oh.
the St. Charles side or
Yeah.
head
the
over
other
to
way.
Westport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About the same distance for me.
So a lot of these, you said you go do about 10 mics a week. Are they those 3 places? I would imagine, and then there's others ones like
Yeah.
Platypus and a couple other ones you stop in at.
Yeah. So there's the club mics are Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then the rest of the week, you're going to shitty bars
Okay.
to do multiple sets. I'll do like multiple in a night. And then I'll do like 2 shows a weekend usually. Which, if I'm getting paid, I guess it doesn't count as an open mic. But sometimes when you go there and it's like you see the audience and what it's like, you're like, oh, right, I'm not going to be as rigid. I'm going to mess with some stuff or try some newer jokes. At the club, you always want to do your tightest
Tightest
Mhm.
stuff.
stuff. But I also think that the risk reward in comedy, people don't play with hard enough, I think, especially like when they're starting out.
What do you mean by that?
Like, I try to push it on a lot of shows if I can and be like, oh, you know what? Like, this isn't make or break. I'd rather mess around up here and learn something about these jokes than do a prescribed set that I know I can do for 10 minutes. I'd rather play around with it and mess around. I'm not as. Some people are more meticulous. I think I started out like this, where it's like every word of their set matters and they think about it and the way they do their face. And I do agree with figuring those things out. I also think the best things come from being natural and just letting yourself mess around up there a little bit.
I was
Yeah.
going to ask, what have you learned about
Yeah.
your material that's worked and hasn't worked?
Oh, I think stories about my life do not work.
No.
Really?
I struggle so hard because people find it sad. Like,
Oh.
because of how like nuts my parents are. I think it's so unrelatable that people will find it funny. But like with you guys, right? You guys have found some of this stuff funny.
Yeah.
I had 20 minutes to talk to you guys to get you guys
Get me there.
Yeah.
to get you guys there before I do that. On stage, you don't have that, and you're telling jokes. You're not just
Mhm.
talking to
Talking
somebody.
about getting your
So like
perspective.
that's something I struggle with. I don't really do a lot of stories. I'm more of a one-liner comic.
Okay.
I'm more like a one-liner, short bits type of comic. Very quick, fast-paced.
How many laughs can you get in a short period of time?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's usually my game.
Lasts
I also
per minute.
think as like a girl, there's more pressure
For
to
sure.
keep it rolling because like it's already hard enough. Like I'm the only female door guy they've ever had at Westport.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
They've never had another girl.
Mm.
So it's like, I gotta not screw up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta be on it. I gotta really be. I also think, it's easy to keep people engaged when you're short and snappy. And then you kind of wear them into a place where they're comfortable and then do some longer stuff. But yeah, stories I really struggle with, especially like I have a lot of jokes and my comedy friends love it. They think it's hilarious. I don't get why people like this. I'm like,
Well, it's because you know me and you've gotten
Yeah.
to spend time with me. These people are getting me for 5 minutes.
yeah, that's why you love things your friends say. And like that's another thing I think people I guess, yeah, being in comedy, you realize it more, but it's like the funniest people we all know are not comedians. They're all people we know because you know them and it's just like you understand them so deeply. It's like everything they say is an inside joke.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is like I know that I've got some pretty wild, funny ass stories that
Yeah.
I've done in my life and I've been through, but I know that I'm not going to be able to go on stage and turn that into something that's going to make anybody else laugh. It's the people that were there and experienced it that laugh the hardest.
Yeah, I mean, I know that now.
Yeah.
I tried it once, didn't work out so well.
Yeah, I started with stories and then I went immediately to one-liners. And I think it's because Bill Burr was doing a podcast and he said when he did comedy for the first 3 years, all he did were one-liners to prove he could write a joke. And then he said, now that I know how to write a joke, I can tell a story because it's just lining up a bunch of jokes in order. That's all it is. So I kind of converted that mentality of like, okay, I'm going to learn how to write a joke. And I just went from there and it's evolved from that. And it's not where I would have thought because I think, well, and you guys have gotten to know me a little bit over the course of this. That's where I'll get, I'm sure, because I have stories.
Yeah, you got lots of stories to tell.
I'm that kind of person, but it's like, yeah, you have to kind of figure out. It's also part of the ego death of being vulnerable on stage because it's so much easier to go up on stage and be like, nobody liked my joke about ice cream today, than to be like, yeah, everybody hates the story about my mom. You know, like it feels so much worse because it's really about you and your life and how you feel. Because comedy really, the key that unlocks most comedians is being able to talk about how they actually feel in situations and express that. It doesn't have to be like, you know, really mushy or anything, but it's just like, that's what Bill Burr always says. Is he's like, the last piece to every joke that I do is saying, how did I feel in this moment when I was experiencing this? And translating that to the audience. Because that's how people don't understand how you feel unless you say it a lot of the time, even though people don't realize that. Because you're used to interacting with just your family and you understand how they feel because you're around them every day. But think about your friends that you maybe see once a week or once a month. You don't always know how they feel by just looking at them or how they're talking. So I think that's a big part of it because you're in front of an audience of strangers. So it's cracking that seal. It also takes the level of like, I think, you know, as the comedian, you don't want to feel above the audience. So when you talk about your feelings or you're vulnerable, that brings you down to their level of, I'm just an idiot up here, you know, just trying to make you guys laugh. I'm not trying to act like I'm better than you.
Right, because I feel like it's just how quickly can you get them to relate to you?
Yeah. It's selling yourself. That's all comedy is. It's learning how to sell yourself. It's learning how can I make people like me as fast as possible.
Yeah. I never thought about it like that.
Yeah. It's a big sales job.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Shit. Bri, this has been awesome having you in here today. Is there anything that we didn't get to that you wanted to talk about?
I don't think so. A lot of fun. We covered a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Well, we always end the show the same way every time. So before we get you out of here.
We like to play a little game. We call it the Tombstone game.
Oh.
You can go funny, you can go serious, you can go whatever you want. Here lies Bri. What's it say on your tombstone?
That's so hard. I had a running bit with my friend where we said we would have to put on our tombstones, this was Bri's fault. This was Jacob's fault. So maybe I'll stick with that because it probably will be his fault.
This is Jacob's fault.
This is Jacob's fault.
Perfect. Well, thank you again for coming in. We really enjoyed this. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And for anybody at home that was watching or listening, please click that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Pat and I are trying to get to 500 subscribers on YouTube before the end of 2025. So help us hit that goal. Share this episode with a friend. Hit that like button. Comment what you thought below. We'll see you next time.